This is a piece of mulberry. It's been dried for it's been about a year. It's about 2.5 inches wide. 2.5 to 3.5. I didn't measure. I just took my trusty old cleaver that I used to split kindling and just split in half and look for the best side. One side had a little knot in it. Just trying to get rid of a little of the fuzzies there on the end where it split. I didn't have any plans for these. I just wanted to make a bowl. It's my first attempt, by the way. Just drawing out a rough sketch. I'm using a Morakniv Sloyd here. I cut off the corners on the saw. Now I'm just going to refine the ends just a little bit. I don't want to make them too thin yet. If I make them thin, then I tend to break them. Just continuing to slim it down a little bit. Get the curves in nice. This took me about probably 3 hours total over 2 days. Got so many other things going on that this is just kind of a whim. I'm a case in what not to do. There's probably easier ways to do this. Probably better ways to do this. I'm kind of a carve by the seat of your pants carver. Gotta let the wood tell me what it wants to be. Still not fluent in the language of wood when it comes to carving, at least. Like I said, this is my first attempt. But I'm the type, I like a good challenge. Not saying it was hard, it was just different. And mulberry is a fruit wood, so the fibers are pretty dense. It's not great to cut, but it's I've carved on harder stuff. Just going around refining the edges, the corners. It's a normal sweeping cut here. got a little split right there at the top. Pretty sure it didn't go all the way through, but I wanted to kind of get rid of the crack if I can. And here I'm just setting in the corners, or the sides of the bowls, I should say. Went back to my knife. You can do this with a V-tool, a gouge. I actually thought about drilling out the corners just so I have a good depth marker. Said I've never done this before, so this was a lesson in trying to figure something out. I've watched people do it. You can use any wood. You can use any found wood. You want something big enough that you can kind of make your own design. This was just a design that I drew on. Probably won't be the best thing I've ever done, but it probably won't be the worst thing I've ever done either. I got the hook knife out because I figured that it would be as easy to use the hook knife, but I quickly found out that that was not particularly the case. Because I already defined the edges, I had something to cut relieve up to with the hook knife. Never used a hook knife before. The hook knife I'm used to is a knife we used to use on the roofs. Not a carving hook knife. For those of you that know what I'm talking about. Just trying to define the edge of the side that goes down into the bottom of the bowl. Took a little block plane and planed off the bottom to make it flat so it wouldn't roll or sit funny on something. Just a few passes. Just enough to give it a profile on the bottom. Nice flat. Now I switched to a gouge here. This was a number 312, I believe. Might have been an 11. I don't remember. The bent gouge would come in handy here. I just picked up one of my mallets and made it a little bit easier. I have to say something about mulberry. At least it doesn't split out a lot. After I used the gouge, I switched back to the hook knife. I tried to keep this sharp. I stropped on this one more than I did in most of my other carvings. I don't know what they call the round eye hook knives. It's completely round. I might actually try one of those if I carve something bigger. Leave a comment if you know what they call the round eye ones. Here I was thinning out the little thumb holds. Chamfer the edges a little bit so you don't have a hard edge to catch anything. Makes it easier on the wood so it doesn't split. I just took a little 320 with foam back. I don't want a fine polished piece of wood. I can do that with a sander if I really wanted to do it, but at least it still looks like I carved it. Now, I use tung oil. I like the tung oil better than the boiled linseed oil because the tung oil doesn't get sticky as it gets older. I have seen and have had uh, the boiled linseed oil kind of get sticky. It'll hold the dust. Tung oil is not like that. And after I do it, I'll wax it eventually just to give it a little bit about a satin finish. Or you don't have to. You can just reapply tung oil about once a year. And because this is just a little trinket holder, I wasn't worried about being food grade or anything of that nature. Thanks for watching.